You good?
I'm good. You good?
I'm good.
I mean, I'm not good, but I'm here, and supposedly they tell me that's a good thing.
Who is this they?
Society, I guess. Definitely capitalism. They want you to be here just so you can work.
Man, listen. First of all, welcome to the show, everybody.
Welcome to the show.
I have a very complicated relationship with capitalism. Right now, I am feeling the heel of it very strongly.
Because of work?
Yeah.
Like your specific job?
I mean, yeah. I mean,
that you have to work?
Yeah. I seriously, if I could quit my job tomorrow and just like not work, I would do that. I would not work.
I feel like a lot of people feel that way. And why are we not revolting?
Well, I've met people who enjoy, like, there are people who feel a sense of like satisfaction Purpose. After like a hard day of work.
Yeah, I got a problem with that though. Like they've tricked themselves. I think that they don't really enjoy work. They
think
feel
that
like
their labor is virtuous.
Yeah, or that they have a job that's like doing good for other people. Not to say that there like aren't jobs that don't do that, but like the way that they're constructed, we're all just so fucking miserable, and no one's doing anything about it. We just continue to be miserable.
Yeah.
And the second you talk, people are like, no, you got to go.
I'm pro union in theory. I'm not like pro every individual union. You know what I mean? Like the Fraternal Order of Police can lick these nuts.
Lick these nuts.
That's what their union's called, right?
That's what our union's going to be called.
Politically informed, but no, I think that, like to your point, I think that people are just complacent. I am a relatively. I don't feel young. I often talk about how I'm old, but sort of I'm relatively young when it comes to the workspace, and it takes time to even know what you can fight back against and what you can say is like, no, this is wrong. I have rights and you can't do this. You know what I mean? And I think that unions help people recognize like, no, hey, you can press them on this. You can fight this, This is not how things should be. This is not normal. And it also, I think it really helps when like people communicate with each other, like even in different industries, like what's going on in your workplace? How are they treating you? What are they giving you? What are they not giving you? Especially like the whole like salary sharing thing. Like I think that gives more power to workers, because I mean this is the thing, like there's always going to be a working class. There has to be a working class, I think. Does there what?
Have to be a working class?
Yeah, the working class literally supports the entire like economy.
But if we like this is like utopia. I'm not saying this is going to happen anytime soon, but if we're just like taking care of ourselves, then why do we need other people to take, like if you're self-sufficient, what do you need other people for? Unless it's like
taxes.
Why do we have taxes? Fuck taxes.
For social safety nets?
Why? What? Okay. Explain. Like, why is that really? Why is that important? Like, why can't we do that like on an individual level?
Why can't individual people pay for roads and bridges and the police and
not paying? Like, why? Let's fuck money. Get rid of money altogether. But let's get rid of money altogether. Like, we can just take care of our own roads. Like, I live in this neighborhood and I can just learn how to fucking pave a road if that's what I want to do. Or do we even need roads? I don't need to go anywhere. I have everything that I need in my backyard. I can just like be self-sustaining. I can have whatever fucking animals and vegetables I need and all of that. And then like my own little family's all right here.
There's not enough for that for every person in the country. You also have to keep in mind that we're like a global world. Like, China isn't going to accept our fucking corn in exchange for their technology.
Again, like, I'm not saying that this is going to happen tomorrow. And why do we need technology? Like, what is the purpose of that? In like our, That's yeah, okay. So like, but why are we doing this podcast?
Because I enjoy it.
Someone really wants to be part of this conversation. But like, okay, so then why can't we just figure all that shit out ourselves? Like, it's just everything is made up. Everything is made up. Ralph, you're made up. Thank you for making an appearance, Ralph. Dude, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what that noise is outside. There's just always fucking noise outside. There's constant construction.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's talk about jobs.
Let's not.
What's the worst job you've ever had?
Probably the one I have now.
But do you think you're saying that just because you have it now, or
yeah,
is
no,
it really the worst job?
That's what I was going to get into. I think that every, it's always I think that people who find workplaces that they really enjoy and that are very supportive of them are very, very rare. Like, I think that may be true for very small companies. And I think that also the people who are satisfied in those positions usually have like lower standards sounds harsh, but like lower.
I think reasonable standards, like the things that
I don't think it's
humans can
having in a workplace. Like, I don't think that that's like I don't like I was saying in the beginning, I don't understand enjoying labor. So I think that people who enjoy work are a little bit in a little bit of not living in the same reality as other people a little bit. Yeah. Yeah,
no, I think they have to in order to go to work every day. Like, there are some people that have jobs that they really enjoy because they either like worked really hard to get the job that they really want to do. But like, I mean, how could you like every aspect of your job?
No.
You can't.
No,
like, there's always going to be something that you don't like. And then you become fixated on that thing, and then that thing just like destroys the job for you.
I remember when I was a kid, and as I've said many times on the podcast, living in poverty, I used to like genuinely like wish to get hit by a car. It's like enough to hurt me and get a lawsuit, not enough to kill me. You know, I was like, I legitimately had that thought like earlier today. I'm like, can I just get a lawsuit and be done with this shit? Be done with this crap.
Just be on disability for the rest of your life?
I mean, you know, just something I can recover enough from, you know, like nothing permanent. You know, my bones can ache when it rains, but nothing permanent. They already kind of ache when it rains.
Wow.
No, but lately I've been like trying to make concerted efforts to reignite my zeal for life. I never had a zeal for life. I've just been trying to rediscover joy and take pleasure in things because I haven't experienced pleasure in things for a while. I think a lot of people are just sort of going through that. I think there is something definitely going on. It's in the water. It's in the air. It's
deeper than that.
Yeah. So
yeah.
I've just been trying to get out of the house more, go out, you know, treat myself to things and whatever. And it's, I think, slowly working, but it's just so hard. Because it's like, I don't know how it is for you, but for me, it's like, to what end is all of this, or all of these things, good and bad? Like, what? I don't even know if things are going to be better in a month or in 6 months. So to what end am I?
No, it's so true. And it's like, why am I doing this? Like, why am I, for me, it takes so much energy to do the things that I find joy in, or to make time for those things, or to have money. Like, I have to work so hard in order to have enough money to do the things that I want to do. Like, it's this fucking rat race. We're just stuck on this fucking hamster wheel. And I also, I've definitely been experiencing the lack of joy in everything, even the things that I like to do lately. It's
it's hard.
It takes so much energy for me to like do the things that I want to do too.
Yeah,
it's like, it's almost counterintuitive.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, why am I doing this?
I took myself out to brunch yesterday, and like you're saying, it was great. The vibe was fantastic. It took so much energy to get out of the house, and then I have this thing where I'm like, again, to what end am I spending this money for this very temporary feeling? Way? And I have to keep spending money every time I want to do something.
They're like, there's no joy in existing. Like, there's no, I don't know if it's because we have to pay for everything now. Like, we're adults, so we have to pay for everything now.
I feel great when I'm spending other people's money. Like, I am having the time of my life, you know? But when I have to spend my own, I will find every justification not to. And for me, prior to this, I had, I was very much in my, I'm going to do what makes me happy type shit. And the pandemic is definitely the excuse for everything, but it truly is the excuse for everything. I think
it changed everything.
Really, it killed a lot of, all of that. We're in fucking turtle shells now. You know what I mean? It's what the fuck.
Fucking turtle shell.
Yeah. But, I'm falling back into that old, because I've reached a place where I'm like, my happiness, regardless of how temporary it is not only valuable, but worthy of pursuit. And so I'm going to spend this money because it's going to make me happy. Because I've been, so cooped up and sad about life, I've been falling back on that old, I can't spend it because what's the point? So I'm just what I'm saying, Brittany, Ralph, people, is number one, processing your emotions is an ongoing thing. So don't feel bad if you regress. I think I just talked myself up. I think I just talked myself off of a ledge. Well,
here you go. I mean,
this is why we need the podcast. This is why we need
exactly. This is why we talk.
Yeah. But I'm just trying to find. Work doesn't help, but I'm trying to find peace. There's got to be a way. There's got to be a way for me to make money without labor. There's got to be a way.
I mean, isn't that what OnlyFans started? Like, you're still putting in some work.
Labor. Yeah. Like, having to do what people ask you to do for money. Like, that's labor. That's not my alley.
I guess it depends on what side of OnlyFans you're on. Like, some people are just like taking pictures of their feet. Like, there's not a lot of labor involved in uploading feet pictures. Or like sending the hair that they're already collecting out of their hairbrush, and instead of putting it in the trash or wherever you put your hair, you're putting it in a baggie and you're mailing it to someone.
Or like dirty underwear.
Yeah, all of this shit. So like, there are low labor ways to do things. But
selling some panties. Get them while they're, I'm grossing
warm
out already. I don't want to go there.
Yeah, that's my issue with that. Like, no shade on anyone who does any of those things for a living, but I personally would have a lot of hang-ups about like here's my toenail clippings, man, in Alabama. Like, I don't know why you want these. Don't do some voodoo shit, you know?
Yeah. No, I mean, that's always my primary concern is
Voodoo.
Yeah, voodoo. What are you doing with that? But also, don't try to frame me for any crimes.
Mm-hmm.
Don't go smearing my
fuck,
DNA.
I didn't even think about that. Like, you're leaving my DNA at the crime scene.
Yeah. See?
But you could be like, listen, I sent him a bag of hair on OnlyFans. You know, like there's like a digital footprint for that. So I feel like you would be exonerated pretty quickly. But wow.
I just blew your mind.
I'm still thinking about the tip thing and why we tip on food. I'm still thinking about that. I've been asking people. Nobody has an answer.
Yeah.
I got so many
because
questions.
I'm too much. I haven't asked anybody yet. But I don't know anyone who's ever worked in the service industry. If you've worked in the service industry, I think we put the shout out on the last show, but we would love to hear who do you think you are? You are the man this with me. No, so what I because I'm too much of a fucking fucking leftist. I don't know what the fuck my problem is.
I wouldn't even say you're that far, but okay.
Yeah, no, I can't completely go without tipping, but I have gradually reduced the amount that I tip. I have. I still
because you're going through this dilemma, or like what's
because of the dilemma. Yeah. Because I feel like it shouldn't be.
So do you pick like the cheapest things on the menu and do your percentage?
No.
You're just like,
I get what I want.
Taking $5 off. No, I mean like in your head.
I just instead of doing 20, I do like 17.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a gradual thing. I'm still working out how I want to approach this.
I see that. I see the internal struggle you're going through.
No, it is a struggle.
I wasn't kidding. Like, it really is. I've literally been thinking about it for a week. Okay. Yeah. Like, it's a struggle.
Yeah. I think it's, what's up with these guys? It's gonna, do you think that, like, do you think that, like, again, because I've never known like a person who like close was to a person who was a server, like the whole tip versus wage thing. Like, would you rather be paid $15 an hour, or would you rather see tips? Yeah.
I think yes, if it worked on a tier system, like you had this many people and, or you turned this many tables and you brought in this much revenue. Like, I feel like my wages should be based on how good of a server I am. I don't think it should be flat across the board because I don't think that's fair. Like if I'm working my ass off and then I'm picking up other tables for this asshole over here, but then we're getting the same amount, like I would have an issue with that. But these are reasons why I work for myself too.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I could imagine, maybe in some Denny's in some podunk town having a flat, might work out best for people. But if you're, in a restaurant downtown, I feel like you probably want your fucking tips. Like,
right. Yeah, no, there's definitely that also needs to be considered. Are you like serving at IHOP or are you serving at like a high-end steakhouse? You know?
Yeah.
Like how much is your ass getting grabbed? Probably actually more at IHOP than at the steakhouse. What?
Do you tip at IHOP?
I tip everywhere. I tip at places that probably people don't tip at.
Like beer gardens or something?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like any kind of service, like anything with food or drink, I'm tipping. Mm-hmm. If it's just alcohol and like I'm just getting beer, then I'm not tipping you a lot. But I'm still tipping you. Mm. Like when I get my car washed, I always tip them. Like the groomer, if you like bring your animals to the groomer, that they should be getting tipped. I'm trying to think of stuff that.
Okay, all right. All right. Let's follow that brand.
Yeah, okay. I mean, we could do hairdresser if that's a more universal experience.
Yeah, so that's so I was going to ask because I've clearly never had to use a groomer or again known a groomer, but I don't go to hair salons. I haven't been to hair salons in years because I've literally never in my life had a good experience at a hair salon ever, like ever. And that's another thing that I don't get is tipping your hairstylist, like the wash girl, sure, because it's usually just some kid, right, who's there, and that's all she's making is tips. But why, why isn't the cost of your professionalism and hospitality built within the prices of your services? Like, why am I tipping you?
I don't know.
Service?
I really don't. This is, again, I don't have an answer for you because it's just standard. Yeah. This becomes my dilemma. I'll go in somewhere and they'll do a really good job. This is specific with hairdressers, which I haven't necessarily had this issue with a hairdresser, but in any of these industries where you tip every single time, if you get your regular person and then you schedule with your regular person and then one time you tip 20% because they did a really good job and then the next time they didn't do as good of a job, I'm going to have a hard time not tipping 20%. I set the precedent and now I have to always hit that.
Yeah.
But they don't always deserve it. But then it becomes this whole moral dilemma within my head. And I'm like, well, maybe they're having a bad day and that's why they should get more.
Well,
just because I want to.
But why I get the tip at all? I'm not asking you to justify. I'm just why
is that a thing? I guess because it's a service. So anything in the service industry, you are tipping,
Do you
so
tip,
expensive as it is.
Do you tip the front desk girl that walks you to your chair and gets you water? That's service.
The hostess?
Yeah.
No, but they usually
at the hair salon is what I mean.
No.
No, right, exactly. But
they're not usually there. They're also I've never been to a place where there's only one girl that's just walking you to your table. They're also a hairdresser. They just don't have a client at the moment and they're helping out.
Okay, right. Yeah. But in the scenario,
but what if I don't? Would you tip the hostess?
Right. No. Right.
You wouldn't. But guess what? A lot of places they pool tips, and that hostess is getting part of the tip that you gave your server. So you have choice.
Hostesses are usually not usually. I'd say 60-40. 40-60 hostesses are awful.
Absolutely.
Rude,
yeah.
Didn't know what they were doing.
What about coat check? Why am I tipping you? Because you didn't steal from me?
Yeah. Yeah. Why am I tipping?
You put my shit in a closet? I'll do that and not tip you. Why?
Room service. I don't understand why I should tip room service.
Yeah. Are they not getting paid?
Right.
You didn't cook the food. Valet, again, thank you for not wrecking my car and taking Ferris Buellering it the shit out of this. Why?
You're literally just parking it. You're driving it.
And I'll do that. I'm happy to park my own car.
And also the only reason why I'm using a valet is because there was no parking. I'm not even here by choice.
You know who has a shitty job in the service industry? Dishwashers.
Oh yeah.
And they're done that. That was probably my worst job. I never got tips.
No.
Once my mom started running the restaurant, she would give the dishwasher some of the tip because we had a tip jar from the deli, and so everybody split that. But just doing the work, scrubbing the fucking pans.
Yeah.
Sorry, minimum wage, bro. I don't know. Nothing makes any sense to me. I don't understand why anybody does anything the way that they do it.
No.
Why is getting your hair done so expensive?
It's so expensive. I don't know how expensive it is for white women, but it's extremely expensive for Black women. Incredibly expensive.
I feel like it's more expensive for Black women just based on time alone. I feel like white women go more often because we're just coloring it every time.
So here's a quick aside, and it makes me chuckle every time this happens.
Oh boy.
But like whenever a white woman like goes to the hairdresser and she comes back out, like she never looks any different. Like unless she got like a really drastic haircut or like color. Like,
yeah, I think you have to know the person to really notice.
Okay.
Cause like I'll see people like there are people that I know that get like their roots done or whatever because they're coloring their hair, and I'll notice right after they get their hair done. But for like the next 3 weeks, you don't really look any different. And then when you get it done again, then I'm like, oh, okay, you got your hair done now. Yeah. But yeah, no, I would agree with that. Like if it was just some broad on the street, I would be like, yeah, you look exactly the same. You paid how much?
You look like you got your hair done. Like,
yeah. I feel like men's haircuts, if it's like a traditional men's haircut, they're like night and day. You went in there with a neck beard and you came out and you're like, you're looking like Ryan Reynolds, and you know, they work some magic. So like they're doing shit, but I don't know.
I mean, it's the same. Like even with men, like white men and black men. Black men's hair is definitely more like their haircuts are definitely more expensive than.
And I think they should be. It seems very much more labor intensive.
A black guy is not going in to whatever that store is and getting a $5 haircut. Like
well, yeah, that's the thing. Like white men, and obviously these are generalizations. White men go in like you get a little shavy shave. Like they get the clippers out and they're like shaving your back hair and then you're done, you're out. But like black men are going in there and you're doing the waves and you're doing your edges and like there's so much more. You're in there for hours. Speaking of black men, here's Ralph.
No, so everybody, my theory is that like
I
Ralph,
love this.
like reincarnated soul of like an old black jazz musician. Like if you met Ralph, you would understand. And it doesn't help that she often puts a bow tie on him. So it's just really
he just needs like a trumpet.
Yeah, he's like you know, a womanizing old tough, you know, carries a gun in his instrument case.
He's definitely been stabbed a few times.
Lived a long life, like old jazz
missing some teeth.
Like 1930s jazz musician. No, he's got all his teeth because he's like famous. Like he made it, you know, he like got through the Motown and all that shit. Like that's how he sold his soul for his talent type shit. That's Ralph is everybody.
I think he reminds me of Sean Connery. He's which again, womanizer. So like across the board, Ralph is a womanizer.
No, Sean Connery is too clean. Ralph is, you know, rugged. He's rough. His suit jackets smell like cigars, you know. Like
yeah, for sure. That's why he's got that like smoker's meow.
Yeah, Ralph isn't marrying some SJW lawyer chick.
No, that's true.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure she's a nice lady. That was a joke. It's a joke. She's probably just fine. Human rights are human rights. They're important.
Wow.
Human rights are important. I'm going to see a play.
Oh, that's different.
Yeah, I haven't been like when I used to like when I was young, very young, we used to go very, very often to the Academy of Music in Philadelphia. Like I don't know why we went so often, but I used to love it. And you know, I think when it comes to like music and art and theater, oftentimes for people who had it, like I was a person who was, I guess, on the luckier side where I had all those things in school. But once you leave school, it's like you really don't have anyone putting those things in your face. So it's kind of hard to like keep them.
I do. That is one part of education, excuse me, that I miss. It's hard to like find stuff sometimes and like be exposed to different shit. You really got to seek it out. And it used to just be like, we're having this seminar and this guest speaker is coming and like, you should learn about this
place, or
Yeah. And there were just so many people learning that everyone was like on the cusp of like the next thing, even like the people that you were in school with. So they were teaching you things like just from osmosis of just like being around other people. I definitely missed that.
Yeah. But yeah, so I decided since the weather's getting nice and I'm on my refinding joy path, I bought myself some tickets to Shenyun.
Oh, I've seen they came into the restaurant to try and like promote themselves, and I'm like, I don't know what this is. They are the best at promoting themselves. I see their posters and billboards everywhere. But I've heard good things. I've heard it's like actually good.
The choices were that and Swan Lake. I'm like, I'm not gonna go fucking watch Swan Lake.
No.
I mean, I like I think ballet is great, but like they don't have any like set pieces and shit.
Yeah.
Like
it's also a little depressing.
Yeah, like
I think.
I want to see some real shit going on. I want to learn some culture and shit. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to having a good time. I'm going to use it as an opportunity to really get dressed for the theater and go out and enjoy myself, and then get tacos afterward. I've already planned this out.
Fucking tacos. Did you say you're going by yourself or are you going with somebody?
Oh no, I'm going by myself. Yeah.
Nice. I love like single dates. Like I don't actually say this, but like taking yourself on a date. Like I think there's so much value in just going out and like getting dressed up just for yourself and like doing whatever you want to do.
Yeah. Well, and I used to. So I go.
I
was doing that for a while and I was very good at it, and I just sort of fell off. But sort of what re-inspired me is I had hit up a friend. I was like, I know it's, hey, do you want to go get out and get a drink? And they were like, yeah, I had a solo reservation at this place for myself. Do you want to meet there? And I'm like, oh yeah. Like, if I want to go out to eat, I should just take myself out to eat. Like, I don't need to wait for someone to be available. I did go out with them, had a good time, blah, blah, blah. But swipe through Hinge to see if we can find any good matches, the things we do.
Are you having any hits these days?
We'll see.
Oh
God. We'll see how that goes. I find so this is sort of I'm Hinge is very different to the other ones. Have you been on Hinge?
Yes, I think I have a Hinge, and I've been on Tinder, and I've looked at other people's like Bumber. We're leaving it. What's the other one? Isn't there another big one? Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I think those are the big ones right now. Yeah. I don't like Tinder because I feel like that's where
all to get STDs.
Yeah, like all of them are in there. Whereas I feel like Hinge is more populated by people who had the wherewithal to be like, I need to find an app that doesn't suck this bad.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But I also find that they're like,
but like if you're on one, aren't you on all of them?
I've seen that. I think people pick and choose based on what they're looking for. I do think that Hinge is more for people who are more serious.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas Tinder is not. And Bumble, I just think I literally swiped on no one on Bumble. Like I had Bumble for like 2 weeks or 2 or 3 weeks. And
did it make a difference that you had to be the one to initiate?
No, I have no problem initiating. Like so this is how I feel about dating app etiquette, right? I'm very much a big match last, message first person. So if I swipe on you and I see that, we've matched, meaning you've already swiped on me, then I feel like it is my responsibility to take the initiative to initiate the conversation.
Okay, I get with that.
Yeah, and then vice versa. If I have swiped on you and then you later match me, take the initiative to start the conversation. I immediately unmatch with guys who don't start the conversation after I've already matched with them.
But what, like, do you give it a time limit? Like
No.
a day?
No.
You just
yeah. No, I give them
okay.
Like time, but
okay, because like you didn't immediately write me a message. Goodbye.
Yeah. No. So like, like a couple days, like, which I think is a reasonable amount of time.
Okay.
For this age demographic is like literally like a couple, like no more than like 2 days.
Yeah. No, I think if like your objective is to be in like some sort of relationship, then you are going and you're on the apps, then you're gonna like check that shit.
Yeah.
Because like you're not just like looking to get laid, you're not just going on there to be like, who can I fuck right now? So yeah, I think that's fair. Yeah. I've had people I think I'm on it, but I haven't looked at it in probably over a year. So my account is hopefully deactivated, but I don't know what their guidelines are on that. I've had people that like I'll match with them and they'll send me a message and I don't respond within a day. And I kind of just started it I started Tinder as a dare. Actually, my friend was in town and she was like, I dare you to go on, because I had no interest. Mm-hmm. And they were doing it because they just wanted to see who was around and like, what the man meet in LA is like. And I was like, all right, fine. I've never turned down a dare. Don't use that against me. And and then I like started just doing it just because it was fun. And then I ended up on Hinge because I was like, oh, well, apparently this is so much better. Let's see if this is any better. No. I'm just not consistent with anything. So I didn't look at it for like a day. And they were like, what the fuck is your problem? Like, why are you on here if you're not going to respond to messages? And I was like, hold on. You need to go to anger management. It was on Hinge.
If you had already matched with this person or they had
matched with that person, we like talked a little bit. And because I was on the app that day, and then I didn't look at it for 2 days, and when I went back on it, they were like, "Fuck you."
I think 2 days is a long time to just.
But then just unmatch me. Like, you don't need to send me a nasty message. Like, if you're not into it, that's fine.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I understand what you're saying, but I also understand his frustration.
Frustration is fine, but like having an anger management problem is another. Like, you're not. Where are you gonna get with that, bro? Like, that's not gonna work out for you in the end.
Yeah, maybe
it's mad.
Feel better to get it off his chest. Maybe he felt relieved afterward. I don't know. But yeah, no, Hinge. I'm gonna just say it. Hinge is pretty boring.
Yeah.
Like the guys that I met on there have been boring, is what I mean. Like,
okay. I was gonna say, I feel like they try to make it more interesting. Like they have that voice recording function now, and I think it's interesting because there's definitely something about listening to someone's voice, some biological response. But
my theory, though, is that that's never going to be their actual voice. Like, I truly believe.
So they're even catfishing their voice.
Yeah, I think a lot of them are putting on like voices, to sound more. Whatever.
I never really understood that. I understand the catfishing thing to a certain extent because like you can get people to pay for you.
Yeah, give you money.
Yeah, so like if that's your objective, then fine. But I've never understood catfishing if like you really intend on meeting someone and like you fall in love with someone. Like why? Like you just screwed yourself.
I think it's narcissism. Like it's 9 times out of 10 with those people's excuses is, oh, I'm the same. They want to accuse the other person of being shallow or whatever. I'm the same person, blah, blah. Like, no, that's complete manipulation and narcissism.
But also you're shallow because you don't even like yourself. And like you match with someone who's totally out of your league because you want that, but you can't have it according to you.
Yeah.
And now you like, again, you fucked yourself.
Yeah. No, that's definitely the big thing. Do you believe that online relationships are real relationships?
I can't discredit anyone else's experience. However, I don't think that I personally could be in a relationship with someone. I can't even do long distance.
Yeah.
So I definitely couldn't just have a relationship with someone online. No. Mm-mm.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine it. Like, I need the like physical aspects of it.
Yeah.
I have object impermanence, so like if I don't see something, I completely forget about it. So if you just exist on in the metaverse, then like I forget about you. I'm gonna be like, I have a boyfriend. I have a girl. I didn't know.
In the metaverse. I should go swimming in there. I clearly know everything about the metaverse. You go swimming in it, right?
Don't we all?
Like, isn't the metaverse just Second Life? Like, isn't it just?
I think it's supposed to just be like this virtual reality that's around us that doesn't really, that we can't prove. It's kind of like the dimension that we know is there, but we can't see. I lost her. The look on your face. You're like, what the fuck?
So, all right. So,
you know that there's a dimension that we're aware of that we live in, but it's not like we can't actually experience it.
In the meta,
you don't. Well, no, I'm just saying like that's the metaverse, but it's not.
Oh, okay. Okay. That's why I was confused because I thought you were giving me a serious answer.
Oh no, I'm kidding. I'm always kidding.
I'm like 4D. Like, what are you talking about?
4D, yeah, absolutely.
No,
Could you have an online relationship?
No,
Can you do long distance?
I apologize, but I do. I think it's very, very silly. I think people who are in these things are very silly, naive people, because there's you can't be in a relationship with someone you don't know, and it doesn't matter how long you've been talking to each other online.
Yeah.
You don't know this person.
I need to read body language. Do you smell? Like, I have so many questions.
The two of you have been putting your best foot forward to each other this entire time. You don't know how this person lives. You don't know how they treat their
other
grandma.
People.
Like, you don't know any of that
exactly.
about this person. And and I think that's why a lot of times when these people end up meeting each other finally, it doesn't work out because they realize like that this is not
and really know you at all.
Yeah. So
what about the people that like are dating online but with the intention of like meeting soon? I don't mean like one or two, like a week or two. I mean like,
isn't that Tinder?
No, I mean like longer term. Like I'm, deployed, and I don't know that this is a situation, but like I'm deployed and I'm not going to be able to come back for 6 months, but I start dating someone. Like, is that a real relationship? Or
it would be in their best interest, in those people's best interest, not to try to commit themselves to the obligations or responsibilities of a relationship when they're separated like that. Because I think there's a recipe for like failure and like self-sabotage. Like there's you trying to commit yourself to it in the same way you would to a tangible relationship, to an online relationship, is a recipe for disaster because you don't have a partner who's there to work things out with, to comfort you, to, like it's not the same. So I think that if you are in that situation, you should keep it non-exclusive. And,
So, like people just magically fall in love or whatever. So
or whatever.
So like, let's say, you don't plan on being in a relationship with that person, but you are talking every day and whatever, and like you fall in love with them in quotations. Then what? Like you already, what is even the point?
Yeah, I think it's fine to, pursue, to keep that person, keep like a line of communication with that person. And I think it's fine to plan to meet each other and to do that. But I think that to, you know, I don't think that there's a they have to keep in mind, like they have to just keep in mind in the back of their head, like I don't know this person yet. Like I don't actually know this person yet. Like just don't be blinded by because that's what it is. Like it's a very desperate need for like love and affection and attention. Get it any way they can, which is why.
No, I really think that's what it comes out of, is like they're really lonely.
Yeah.
They're just reaching out to anything, and you want to believe that you're in love with that person, or that something is going to come out of it, because you're just like desperate. Mm-hmm. You just really want it to be true.
Yeah. And no, for all the similar reasons, I am not a long distance relationship person. Like I automatically shut
But what if that was temporary? What if like you were already in a relationship with this person, living in the same place, and then for whatever reason it had to become long distance for a certain amount of time? Would you
How long?
6 months to a year.
A year?
Okay, so that's where the defining. So 6 months you can do, but a year is too long.
How long have we been together before?
Like you want to spend the rest of your life with this person.
But how long have we been together?
Years. 2-3 years.
2-3 years. 6 months might be doable. A year, I don't know about a year. How often are we seeing each other in this year? Because we're adults, right? We both have money. We're both able to fly back and
forth. What if you can't see each other at all?
For a year?
Yeah.
Nah.
That was coming.
No, I mean, well, and here's the other thing. Like, there's different definitions. People, I think, a relationship is what the people in it define it to be, right? So, I think that if we are two people who are open to the idea of reconnecting after that year, then also that's fine. But
that's where I would be at. Like first of all, if you're going to be gone, like we're done. Like I'm done. Like I just can't. And maybe that's because I've never been in that situation where I could ever imagine wanting to wait a year for someone to come around. But yeah, like no, just absolutely not. Just none of that.
And this isn't like even like I'm not like bashing or anything like that. This isn't even like a character judgment, but like I frankly would not expect a man to be able to be faithful for a year. Like
absolutely.
I might be able to do a year, but it's only because like I have, low needs for like, intimacy. But like
right.
I don't think that the dude I would be with would be able to be.
All the more reason why I wouldn't be able to stick with that, because I'm going to be like, you're going to be fucking other people. So like, what is the point?
Yeah.
And like, we should just take a break, as they call it, which ultimately you're going to break up.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But if it's easier to like tell yourself we're taking a break, then just do that.
Yeah. Yeah. I couldn't do it.
Couldn't do it either. More power to you. That's some loyal ass shit. I haven't met any people like that.
What, like you mean that you want to be loyal to like that?
No, not, and it's never me that feel like I'm extremely loyal, but I just can't imagine anyone else. And this is like some shit I need to bring up in therapy, but I can't imagine anyone else being loyal to me in that scenario
for a year. Well, but I don't think that's you. I don't think that's like, I think that's honestly like a normal, like, I don't think that that's a character. Like, I wouldn't expect that from anybody. Like, I wouldn't expect anyone to be faithful.
Well, also that,
in a year, like, because again, like I said, I might be able to make it, but probably not. Like, I myself would be like, hey, no, I'm going on a date. Like, it's been 7 fucking months.
Like, what are you getting out of this? Like, there's just.
You're right.
Like,
that's
at
the thing.
one point, I might not die alone. Like, is that why I'm holding out for this?
Yeah. Oh, drink some water.
I did. It went down the wrong pipe. Oh, Lord.
Well, I hope it doesn't go down your wrong pipe, audience.
Happy Valentine's Day.
This show is not coming out on Valentine's Day, but it is being recorded on Valentine's Day, and
you should break up with your significant other.
No, we wish you very sexy times.
Sexy times, and then break up with them. Get whatever you need out of them, and then get rid of them.
Why do you gotta break up?
Because nothing's permanent. You might as well end it now.
This trauma is permanent. Good night, everybody.
Bye.